Greetings, greetings, and thank you for stopping by here on YouTube Live at Bloom From Within Love. If you are a decent mofo out there in the universe, I hope you are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I hope that you are well on your way to doing well. Anyways, topic of discussion. I was guided to talk about signs of envy and jealousy in social media. Signs of envy and jealousy in social media. Now, a lot of you, many of you, have personally dealt with this in the physical, okay? And social media is no different. In fact, social media just only amplifies what was always happening, what's been there. So here are some of the signs. So before we get into the signs, let's talk about envy and jealousy a little bit. Okay. Now, I want to add disclaimers. I understand that on um, a basic scale, we all may have struggled with maybe more smaller, benign youthful type of envy and jealousy, right? Okay. And then as we continue to heal and grow and mature and, self-reflect and develop and all that stuff actually starts to, dissipate with maturation if you're working on, like, as a lifestyle yourself, right? Left. Society, as we know it, perpetuates this though. Okay. At least this is my opinion. Society perpetuates it, mass media, okay? Because envy and jealousy is what's going to drive the, commerce. That's my opinion. It's going to drive commerce. Why? Because the more people that are in envious and jealous energy, they're going to be more desperate and driven to do what? Spend money. To spend money in order to what? Keep up with the Joneses. Okay. That envy and jealousy is going to drive those who haven't gotten it balanced to extreme ends of, I must, I'm trying to compete, keeping up with the Joneses, yada, yada, yada. So this is another reason why I feel like, okay, if we can become aware that a part of this stuff is being pushed, then we'll alter ourselves a little bit too. It's being pushed. Like, look at me, right? Now, the other thing about envy and jealousy is it's an individual thing, it's a personal thing. Okay. When we all have our niggles, right? Not one of us are 100% perfect. Not one of us have totally arrived without any, things that we're working through. But, but envy and jealousy is to do with a deep rooted sense that you're not enough and that someone is better than, okay? And that somebody may take something from you or someone is able to have something that you're not able to have. So you're not enough. What you have is not enough, yada, yada. Okay. That's the core foundation of where it's bred from. We've all seen extreme versions of this where it goes really wrong. I call it envy and jealousy on steroids. Okay. Where this is where people get into maladaptive behavior. So, because of their envy and jealousy, they want to hurt you. Okay. They are jealous of your looks, then they want to hurt your looks. They're jealous of what you do, then they want to hurt what you do. Okay. They're jealous of, envious and jealous of, who likes you or who wants you, then they want to mess that up. Okay. And will do some really insidious, sadistic things, ranging from physical sabotage to, spiritual dark practices to all sorts of things. Okay. Most of us already know what that is. I'm going to do some more posts on that in the community tab. Okay. Just to invite y'all to discuss it if you want to discuss it in the comments. Okay. Now, here are some of the signs. If you're in social media, okay, even as a content creator or social media influencer, you're going to notice different things. Now, start being your own investigator, start being your own analysis. Okay. So, I'm going to give you guys an example of something. You may have a lot of traction in social media. You may have people that follow and subscribe. You may have people that like your content, and all of those things on a regular as a standard. But then, if you post something that the population that's viewing you, if you post something that's triggering something to do with their own niggles, and so again, a lot of humans struggle with the surface stuff like physical appearance, right? Physical looks, physical appearance. So you'll notice if you put something up of yourself, like your physicality, even if it's good content, that's going to be the one that has the less traction. Okay. Um, I'm just saying, okay. And it just depends on the population that's the demographics that's viewing you, okay, as well. So, for an example, you can post something that shares the very same context with different images and you would get the traction. So, in other words, like whatever it is you were discussing and saying, hey, you'll get you 2, 3, 4, 5, 50 plus, responses to that. Okay. But if that same content exactly was created and then it's a picture of you, like an image of you, okay. If that's what's bugging that particular population or demographics, if this is something that they're strongly struggling with, whether they're admitting it or not, okay, the visual image of you is serving as a trigger, okay, man or woman alike. Now, here's where I'm going because some of you will say, oh, okay, well, maybe from the same sex. No, because it can do that to the men as well who struggle with their looks, okay? And or they're upset that they can't have you or someone like you, okay? And that image is serving as something that bothers them. Now, let me just say, especially if whatever image of yourself that you put up there and you're intelligent or the content is relevant, it's like a little bit of a double whammy. I know this sucks. So you're going to notice that's like, hey, there was no traction on that one, but I get traction on everything else. Okay. And the content would have been if it were not for that image. Now, I can say for myself personally, this stuff does get played out. I've never really been one. To me, it's a nasty, uncomfortable energy. And it's also of waste. It's such a waste. The time and energy people spend on that, it's a waste. Um, and it's a disservice to the self. Because as long as we see it, it's all to do with comparing. If we think about it, if you reduce it to the basics, it's all about comparison. Because without the comparison, then you're not going to have the envy and the jealousy. And this is the trap. Even if this is, subconscious, unconscious, not in our awareness, right? That comparison is what's driving those icky, yucky things and makes us not want to validate or support something that we would probably otherwise support if if we were not sitting there comparing. Okay. It's it's a trip. But that's a sign. So in social media, start watching your traction, especially if you're a social media influencer, motivational speaker, content creator, and let's say majority of what you share has nothing to do with pictures of you, because pictures of you has nothing to do with what you're talking about. So maybe only every blue moon or every so often you'll put images out of yourself, right? But just notice those. The ones that have the images of you, are those the ones that have the least traction? Be your own scientist, an observer, an investigator. This is going to let you know that your intuition is not off. This is another great tool to further train getting reacclimated with our gut instinct and our intuition. Because these are subtle cues, aren't they? These are indirect cues. These are non-verbal cues about human nature. Okay. So, anyways, I hope this discussion provokes you to look into that. If you yourself are dealing with being jealous and envious, I want to encourage you to dig deeper. Okay. I want to encourage you to go on your own journey of healing, self love. Okay. Challenge those things, letting go, understanding that this is an individual affair in this journey. The more we can get out of comparing ourselves, and I know comparison serves to a degree in a healthy and balanced way as needed, but just as a standard of life, it'll keep you in a state of feeling discontented, because there's gonna always, and listen to me, collective, there's gonna always be someone that from a conventional standpoint may appear more physically attractive than us. Okay, always. And this stuff is, all about perception anyway. It's subjective. This is what we are here with, at least in this realm, okay, in this carnation and in this realm. This is it. So what we do with it, we can be the best versions of it, learn how to love it, do the best we can, and appreciate and value, knowing that our value actually goes much deeper than that. So does everyone else's. And if we can get ourselves there, we'll feel more light and more free and less triggered by other people's beauty, other people's handsomeness. And we'll be able to support content and influencers the same way we would if their pictures and their images were not there. Okay. All right, guys, I send you all, if you're a good soul, I send you love and light. Namaste.